Good afternoon, everyone. This is our next sequence in our training videos. As you know, we started with engine, we went to truck. Today we're going over the heavy hydraulics, okay? Hydraulic tools in this department are carried on the rescue, on the engine, and on the utility, okay? This is our major rescue piece. It has a majority of our rescue tools. This unit basically has a Maverick and a power unit. That unit has a Maverick and a power unit. This has everything else that you need in the way of performing a vehicle rescue. Today though, we'll just have the jaws out and the yoke cutters. We're going to be going over step by step. We're going to be going over the connection of the hoses. We're going to be going over the operation of the power units individually. And we're going to go over some safety tips so that you don't get yourself in trouble. Of all the things we do here at Freeland Fire Department, rescue is probably the thing that we do the least. However, we are counted on performing rescue services for both Freeland Borough and Juddo Borough and our mutual aid partners when they call us to respond. Therefore, it is very important to be able to handle the heavy hydraulics in a proper manner. I realize that many operations can be handled with hand tools, and we strive to be proficient in hand tool operations. However, hand tools are usually very easy to grasp in an operation. This, you have to use some memory, and you have to be able to go back on your experience. Freeland Fire Department through the years has made an investment in both training and equipment to be able to provide very efficient basic vehicle rescue practices. We have 20 of our firefighters who have gone through the BVRT program. We have another 4 that have gone through Special Vehicle Operations program. So it behooves all of us to be able to do these operations correctly when called upon on the scene. The first thing we're going to do is today, we're graced with the illustrious presence of our captain, Mr. Nick Heffelfinger, and he's going to go over the proper connections of the hoses to the power unit.
All right, so we stage the tools kind of how they be when they come out of the rescue. Larry, if you come in here, I want you to take a look. Right, where's it at? Actually, we'll do it on the back side of that one because it's easier to see. We'll do it over here. So, on these collars, there is a small ball, a raised piece, that has to be rotated till it's in line with that collar before this collar will go down to release the quick connects. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Second thing we're going to do is the hoses are the same exact way. So you're going to rotate this collar until you find that hole, pull back, and the quick connect will come apart. And you're going to do the same thing on the next one. Once we have them disconnected, we're going to connect one end to the tool, and we're always going to connect to the tool first. And you're going to take both lines to the tool. Same thing, make sure it's rotated in the right spot, press it on, and then rotate that collar away so it's locked. And we're going to do the same thing on this tool. Again, make sure it's rotated to the right spot, push it on, rotate it away so it's locked. Next, you're going to take the line back over to the power plant, and we're going to do the same exact thing. On here, there's also that same setup on the collar. So you're going to rotate that over, press in, and then rotate that away once that tool is in so that it stays on. And then the same thing on this collar. Press it on, rotate it away. We have 2 sets of tools, 2 sets of hoses. One's orange, one's green. It doesn't matter which one you put on which tool. What you need to remember though is the same color goes to the same side of the power plant. So if we're going on this side with the green, both green hoses go to the same tool, same side of the power plant. And then the same thing on the opposite side for the other tool that's hooked up. Now Eddie's going to start it up for us and we'll run some tools here.
Okay, beforehand, you don't want to check your fuel and your oil to manufacturer recommendations. We do that weekly so we know we're good to go. This side's going to have your controls. You'll have your on-off switch. You're going to kick that to on. Your choke when we push to on. This black lever over here is going to be your fuel valve on and off. Make sure that that's on. And down here you have your throttle from low to high. Set your throttle to high, your choke on. Make sure it's switched on with your fuel open and you're good to go. Once you start the power plant, you're going to want to slowly work this choke off as it warms up.
just going to do a standard open close just to make sure it operates well after we have everything connected up. See what she did there? Why did you do that, Audrey?
That it has the gap. You don't want it shut all the way so then it doesn't open.
Thank you. And now we'll switch over to the other power unit. We'll get Ed here. Where's Ed? Department. He's also an engineer in the city, as you guys all well know. So he's helping us today go through this training. He's going to do the second power unit.
Okay, second unit's smaller than the first, but still very similar. Check your oil and your fuel beforehand, make sure you're at your recommendations. On the side, we have the choke that you'll want on. Right below that, this black lever is going to be your fuel on and off. You can actually see in the filter over here to make sure your fuel is in fact on. And down here we have the throttle. So make sure those are all on. Switches on this side, kick that on.
About the Maverick tool is it's light, it's maneuverable, it has the jaws and also has a cutter in it. So we can use it for various applications. Okay. Now we have the last power unit over here.
Power plant from the utility. There's two main things that you have to keep in mind with this one versus the other two. It does run exactly the same. You have to check your fluids and everything. It has the choke, the fuel, and the throttle. One thing to keep in mind though, this has to be on flat ground for it to run. If it's on uneven ground, then it's not going to get the fuel it needs. And also when you hook up here, you can run two tools at the same time. But the first one always has to be connected into A. And then you have your single and your double, and your pressure and dump valve. And like I said to start, it's the same way. You're going to put your throttle up, your choke across, make sure your fuel's on. Your on button is over on this side, and you're just gonna pull. It's gonna run just like that.
Conclusion, we thank everyone again for being here today. This is very important, okay? To be able to operate these efficiently. When you're using heavy hydraulics, you're usually in a very tense, very stressful situation because you're trying to save somebody's life. You're trying to get them out of the vehicle, get them packaged, and get them to a facility and hand them over to EMS personnel. Very much involved, a lot of work. So it's important that you remember what we go over this video. And as soon as the weather and the situation clears up, we'll be able to do this hands-on. One other thing, as a footnote, it's important to run your tools. Now, we just ran these tools a week ago, okay? And trust me, the things that happened behind the scenes today were very, very interesting, okay? That you didn't see that were edited out. So it's always important to make sure that you get up here, you run the tools, and everything is always maintained. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Look forward to seeing you when all this clears up or very shortly when we start changing stages, okay? Thanks. Have a good day.